You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. The growth of this channel has been amazing over the past month. I really appreciate it. Today, I want to dive into some of the Ask the Dev section on Spectrum. I ignored this for the longest time, but there is so much information in there posted almost every single day. There's no way all this can ever make it into an Inside Star Citizen video. So what I thought I'd do today is jump over some of the more interesting questions, and CIG Chad over here, that's Chad McKinney, has answered a lot of these questions himself. So let's take a look at, first of all, why can't I live in my Carrack? This question's come from Cyberwolf TX, who belongs to Widowmakers. Now the question is this. It's happened to you too. You've logged off in your ship, you wake up, you are not where you thought you would be, you're probably in the middle of the sun. Why is this? I want to live in my ship, I don't want to have to go to bases, I want to sleep in my ship and wake up where I parked it. Why is this not happening? Is this part of the iCache? Should be able to do this at this stage? What is going on? So Chad says, iCache and the global persistence should definitely help with the bed logout and give us the architecture we need to go beyond that. The problem with the system now is that since we don't really have global persistence yet, there's a kind of a Rube Goldberg machine to save off and reconstruct the parts involved to make it work. With global persistence, that all goes away, and instead of using very roundabout mechanism, everything is persisted spatially, so it becomes common case. All right, so iCache, that is our new Jesus patch. As is tradition, there's always one piece of technology will make everything work. For 2020 and 2021, it's iCache, right? Remember when it was server-side optimization, which is going to fix everything? In fact, there's a question about that later. But let's go to the next one. This one is referring to the quantum system. Now, the quantum system, not to be confused with quantum travel. Quantum system is what's going to run the economy and everything on the back end. So if a certain area needs a commodity, NPCs will then go get that commodity from one spot, fly it over, sell another spot, creating an economy. It also controls what the NPCs do. This comes from ZA Snake, who is part of Shotgun Choir, asking, hi there, to what degree is quantum in operation at all? I would like to assume there must be some interaction for testing, so where do we stand on quantum? CIG Chad responding, it is in heavy development. I like where this is going. In fact, we just saw a really cool demo one of the designers threw together to show off the progress. However, we aren't ready to show it publicly yet. More to come. Great news. That is really going to bring a lot of life to the game when NPCs are flying around, picking up boxes, taking boxes. It's the missing element from the game at the moment. Let's go to the next one, which is kind of related, and that is the server-side optimization, server-side object container streaming. I'll just call it SSOCS from this point. SSOCS and the ability to go with the ability to populate the world with many locations, caves, mining pits, outpost settlements, etc. Now, the promise of SSOCS was that moons and planets are going to be filled with outposts and different things. It'll be alive with things, not an empty, desolate space like it is now. Where is that? Why has it not arrived yet? Here we are 10 months later, and we don't see more locations. Maybe a few space stations, sure. But the game is still mostly a content desert with a small oasis scattered about. Agreed. So, did SSOCS not work as intended? Do we need to wait for SSOCS version 2? Are the assets and tool for procedural location generation not yet ready yet? What is the story? CIG Chad answers, SSOCS did work as intended, and Tony Z point is still valid. There are still some reasons why we haven't pushed the envelope on a number of these satellite areas, including work done on procedural generation tools to make that content interesting and improve the pipeline for authoring it. The move to iCache, Jesus patch again, will also help us move in that direction since we can precede the database with content and not have to store it locally in memory on every DGS like we do now with the current prototype backend SSOCS is using. Okay, so again, all counting on iCache coming soon. This next one is one that bugs the hell out of me, and I'm glad to see it come up. This is coming from Centero, who belongs to the corporation. Hello, corporation. And it is this. When you walk up to a door after you've gotten your ship from a terminal, you walk to the door. You don't have to press F and select open door. You simply press F and the door will open up for you. I go crazy when I have to walk up to an object, press F, select the different things from a drop down. Why can't it be more simplified? I want as little clicking as possible. And this is exactly what this question is here. The current inner thought system has a function where the topmost alternative is a default that gets selected automatically if you quick press F. This means you don't need to click any option at all, just quickly activating and releasing F. This will select the default. This is very useful, in particular things like calling an elevator. However, with the new elevator panels, they don't seem to support this. What can we do? You wake up in bed, you go to the elevator because you want to leave the building. You don't want to go to floor 12 or floor 3. You don't have a friend you're visiting. You want to leave and go to get your ship. There's only one place you're probably going. Should you go to the elevator, press F, and that should take you to the ground floor automatically, saving a click. I think it's a great idea, right? CIG Chad saying, this is a consequence of moving to a UI-based implementation instead of the interaction system, which has this as a quick interact feature. The UI framework could have this added optionally. Partially, it is a design question. I think it's a great idea. And then there's a bit of thought that would need to go into how you dictate the default choice. Then the existing implementations would need to be updated, but it is possible. I may run it by the UI team and see what they think. That is great. Thank you, Chad. Next question. When will planets start orbiting? I haven't thought about that. That is good. And this comes from Pengu for Life, who belongs to Arrow Tech. I haven't been in the community for long, but it's clear that planets are still not orbiting each other. I heard that there'll be some blockers that may need to get removed for starting this, but never got full detail on what needs to be done for planets to start orbiting. What do we have to see? Yes. Chad responds, hey, there's at least one thing I get to say at least does not depend on the iCache. He beat me to it. I was going to basically throw that in. Good. No, in the end, there's smaller issues that crop up when you turn on orbiting, which I've been able to do for years actually, as it causes problems in many gameplay systems. One example, navigation. Imagine you want to get to plot a route from a satellite to an outpost on the moon across a system. Depending on your ship, this may take quite a while. And while by the time you get to the part through the jump, the route you took can become invalid as it be blocked by something moved into view. All right, so you're traveling from one end of the system to the other end of the system, but in the meantime, a moon has orbited into your path. Now you have to stop. You have to select another orbital marker, jump there. It just increases your travel time. Realism and immersion, yes. Fun, maybe not. This isn't Kerbal Space Program. I don't know if I want to plan orbital mechanics during my trips. I want to click a button. I want to jump there. Let's go on and finish his answer here. This isn't an insurmountable problem, and we have plans on how to deal with it, but we just haven't done that work yet. This is actually a good one. My personal preference, as much as I like realism, I don't know if I want my plan cut short because a moon or an asteroid or something came into my flight path. That is a good one. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want orbital trajectories in, or are you happy with the way things are right now? Post your comment below. I'm interested to hear. One final one coming from Santera again. Will monster lockers be used to fake it in the long run? What about quantum? This is basically referring to where NPCs come from. Will NPCs magically appear in a certain cell and just walk out in the world and then walk back into the cell and disappear? How's this tie in with quantum? Because remember that NPCs will have certain jobs to do. They wake up in the morning, they'll go, this is in the ship for example. An NPC living in your ship will wake up, go to the mess hall, have breakfast, go to its station, do its work, finish its work, go back to its bed. It has a certain life path. Or will that NPC simply walk into a closet and disappear? And I always say, they should come out the closet, really. So the answer to that is spawn lockers are indeed going to be part of the long-term solution of the game, but there are some key details you may not be aware of. First of all, there's an assumption here that the entities spawned by these lockers are completely blank slates, and when they despawn, they'll never be seen again. This isn't going to be the case for all NPCs, as there's at least two mechanisms that we're going to use which will result in similar behavior to what you're looking for. First of all, there'll be a class of NPC of higher importance. These are the ones which we'll obviously be seeing regularly. So if there's a certain NPC which does a certain job, they won't disappear and be gone forever. You'll be seeing them over and over again. NPCs of high importance, they will have some amount of virtual simulation even though when no players around. These NPCs could be part of a mission, for example, and the schedules and movement throughout the verse will be simulated in the backend. When you encounter once of these, they may spawn or leave an area via spawn locker depending on the circumstance, and you will likely see them again later. So yes, they may despawn, but they won't be gone forever. You'll be running into them again. Chad goes on to say, given the scope of the world we're trying to create, it would be impossible to simulate their schedules and every detail of their life for NPCs. But we can split the difference by using a combination of dynamic creation, virtual simulation, and pattern match reuse to bring the kind of gameplay you are looking for. So you may see a security guard at a certain outpost, you may be flying around and security may be coming after you, and it will be that same security guard, but they'll also be despawning and spawning them back in with certain cells. So a mixture of both. And I think that answers the question with that. So this wraps up today's session of Ask the Devs. Lots of great information. Thank you all for watching. If you like my content, guys, keep it up. Thumbs up. Your comments below appreciated. Subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you in the next one.